Hello, everyone, and welcome to another show on Kingdom Kids. Today, we are talking about healthy habits, healthy kids, and we are talking about the means of fitness. And today, we have the pleasure of having Jordan and Dewan Means from By Any Means Fitness. You all know them. They help us out. They keep us fit. They give us advice. So they are here to help our kiddos because, the kiddos, we like, and I say we because I work with them. We all like, the flaming hot Cheetos and everything, and we eat it up just all day long. And that's what we do. But we got to get better. We got to take care of ourselves for now and for the future. So this show is going to just talk about different things and have a discussion about what's good, what's not, trying new things. And then after all of that talk, we are going to work out. So you'll be able to look this episode up, come back to it, work out when you need to, get the family active, all that kind of stuff. So let me stop talking so much so we can get to the questions. But welcome to Jordan and Dewan Means. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us. Yes.
Awesome. So, excuse me. So just to go ahead and knock it off with a good question. A big thing that some of our adults and sources, the internet, just a big question off top. Many people and some sources say that overweight children will become obese adults. So one, what are some factors? This is probably a heavy one. What are some factors that lead to that condition, and what are some things that we can do to change it?
Sure. Well, there is some truth to that. I would say that family history has a lot to do with it, but also habits as far as, what you do, what we're handed down from family to family as far as traditional ways of eating, getting outside, running, playing. Whatever you do on a consistent basis, that also has something to do with, being overweight or being in shape. So I would say it's not so much genetics or something that comes through a bloodline that you're going to be overweight for the rest of your life. It also has something to do with, being educated about nutrition and about fitness and just the ways you go about, being active every day.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely, like Dewan said, there's a portion that can be hereditary, but there are things that we can do and change about what we do on a day-to-day basis to make our bodies healthier and be at a weight that is healthier long-term.
Thanks. Yeah, I kind of agree with it. I was not a chunky kid. I was a chunky baby, but I wasn't really a chunky kid. But as I grew up and just through high school, it just kind of, and I was like, whoa, clothes are hard to get. I need to stop somewhere. But thank you so much for opening us up. One more question, and then I will hand it off to our friend who is with us. So one more question. With that, as you said, it's not really a bloodline thing, but just habits in our family. How can we get the family a little more involved? Even if it's, I guess, the kid maybe taking charge, how can we just get the family more involved?
It can start with small things. Often we think about kids and we say, oh, they definitely want to have some juice to drink instead of water, but you can do as simple as offering water first. Say, hey, drink your water first, and then you can have a little juice maybe if you're still thirsty after that. And that's, we get a lot of calories from the things that we drink and a lot of sugar, and we can eliminate that really quickly. And that's something that as kids you can do as well. Fill up your water bottle instead of getting a little juice box. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm really big with the word habits. I feel like that's where everything starts, everything begins. And if we can teach kids better habits, starting with, the parents, take the family out on a walk every Saturday morning, or whenever you find time, or just get them involved in the nutrition, educate them, start a garden in your backyard, let them know about vegetables, and then maybe they'll get, more into it because they're doing it at home. I always say we need to learn the blueprint. So if you teach them about nutrition early, they won't have to always go to the flaming hot Cheetos like you talked about, or, they might want fruit, give them an option of having fruit, give them an option of having something else. And the number one thing, if you don't buy it in the house, kids don't have jobs. So I don't know how they're gonna get in the house. So, that's the what you got to do if you want to be really hard with it. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I say that to my GC parents all the time. I need y'all. I love y'all because they can't drive. So you want them here. So yeah. So I totally agree with that. So I'm going to introduce our friend who is here with us, and her name is McKenna Winburn, and she is a member of God's Creation Choir. So I would like to ask her to unmute her mic, and if she has a question that she would like to ask, this is your time. Go for it.
What foods can I eat to give me energy? At 9 years old, do you think I should exercise? How much water should I drink a day? What is the latest time I should eat?
Oh, she's running it down. She gave you like 5. So McKenna, we're going to start with that first one. Could you repeat that one more time, please?
What foods can I eat to give me energy?
Okay, you could start your day out with something like oatmeal. That's going to fill your belly up, but also it's going to stick with you a little bit longer than, say, something like a sugary donut, which you'll burn through that energy really quick, and then you'll get tired.
Right.
So something like that, which is a whole grain, you could eat that for energy.
Yeah, I mean, I said it before, fruit. I'm not big on pre-workouts. One of my pre-workouts is actually eating an apple about 30 minutes before my workout. And it works for me because it has the carbs that I need, and then also some sugar for energy as well.
You can also do like, if you like peanut butter or almond butter, like a peanut butter sandwich with a little bit of jelly, not too much jelly, but a little bit, that's going to give you a lot of energy because there's a lot of fat in that peanut butter, which is good for your body.
That's right. Yeah, so food is energy. So when you're eating real whole foods and not junk food, you're going to have energy. So just think about that.
Mm-hmm. All right, McKenna, go ahead with your second question, dear. I think she's frozen. Okay, McKenna, we're going to come back to you. If you can hear me, we're going to come back to you. Okay, excuse me. So in talking about foods that can give you energy, thank you so much for that question again, McKenna. I would like to jump to water. We know, well, I hope we know, and feel free to share because I'm sure adults watch. We're supposed to know how much water adults are supposed to have. Someone asked, is that the same amount for kids?
Not quite, just because you can really think about it based on how much you weigh. Right. And a good guide would be if you look at your body weight, how much you weigh, you cut that in half and drink that number of ounces a day. Mm-hmm. That's a good guide. But if you're thinking about a bottle of water for a kid, like 3 bottles of water in a day would be awesome.
Okay, cool. And sticking with the water, another discussion that me and my husband have had on several occasions, water, like does the Propel, does the other, the flavored waters and all of that, do those like really count to our, I guess, nutritional intake? Does that really count? Because somebody chugs it down.
Right. Uh-oh. No.
Okay.
Can I start with this one?
Go
This is a question I get all the time with my clients. So I always tell them, like Jordan says, half your body weight in ounces, or I try to push a gallon of water a day for a grown up. I mean, it's really good to flush your body out and be fully hydrated. I mean, it just helps with everything with your body. But as far as using something as far as to put in your water, I tell them you can't count that as your water that day because it's no longer water. It didn't come from the earth. You have to use something to make it colorful. So I don't care if it's 0 calories, it doesn't exist, just magical, it just turned blue or red, whatever happened. It's not water. So that's a little bit to answer your question. But however, you can do what I like for my clients to infuse their water. And what I mean by that, whatever type of fruit you like, if it's mint leaves, whatever it is, let it sit overnight. To me, that's going to be better because it's not in a package. Again, Whole Foods is the name of the game. If it's from the earth, you're good. If it's man-made and you got to open a bag or a package, might be some problems with that one. So, yeah.
Yeah. Someone has their headphones on, but I'm going to make sure they watch.
You can make sure you hear that? Yeah, that was for him.
All right. All right. I think we have McKenna back. Hey, sweetheart. Will you go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your second question, please?
Yeah. At 9 years old, do you think I should exercise?
Yes, I think you should definitely exercise. You want to keep your body moving. You could be active as a kid for 1 to 2 hours a day. That doesn't have to be all at the same time. You can break it up 20 minutes at a time. That's awesome. It's just going to keep your heart healthy, keep your muscles nice and strong. And as you continue to grow, it's just going to benefit your body in the long term. So definitely exercise. You don't have to lift weights. Just getting out, running, and playing is plenty as a kid.
Okay.
Thank you, McKenna. I'll be back to you in another moment for one more question. All right, but sticking with the children factor, there was a question that was given to me. Should children take vitamins? And if so, which ones are best? And it kind of continued on, how can you choose the best one? And what should you look for on the label? But overall, should children take vitamins?
You know what you're talking?
Yeah.
I mean, that's really a question that you want to talk to your doctor about, just to be 100% sure. Ideally, if you can, get everything you need from your food. But if there are any, you feel like you can't get it all from your diet and there are any deficiencies, generally for kids, a multivitamin, a kid's version of a multivitamin is not going to cause any harm. But again, I would always suggest just chatting it over with the doctor just to be 100% sure.
Yeah. We personally do it with our kids.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And one more. Well, actually, I'm going to pass it back to McKenna. Hey, sweetie. Unmute your mic. Go ahead. Go ahead with your third question.
What is the latest time should I eat?
Well, it all depends on really when you're going to go to bed. You want to give your body enough time to burn off, and you don't want to go to sleep on a lot of food, especially if you're concerned about your weight. So I would just say just really depends on what time you eat your last meal before you go to bed.
And also you want to think about, okay, if I lay down and to have a full belly, is that going to make my stomach hurt? So you think about that too.
Right.
So think about how you feel in your body, and if you need to be upright a little bit longer to let your food digest for a little while, you want to eat a little earlier before you go to bed, maybe a couple of hours if you can.
Okay.
Okay, let me check my list over here. This is great, and actually, I'm really loving the information, and I'm kind of taking some of it in for myself because, just remembering some of the tips and everything, just trying to be healthy. Let's see. This was a question I believe from for some of the older children of Kingdom Kids, because as we get older, we get more concerned with self and appearance and what we look like. So is it, excuse me, is it better to focus on keeping your heart healthy and strong, or just keeping the weight down? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, appearance versus inside
yeah.
health. I would always go with health first.
Yes.
There's appearance. I mean, that's cool. I think that's for other people to see and for yourself. I mean, it's okay to look good. That's fine. But that shouldn't be your main focus. It's always good to, get annual checkups, make sure, your blood work's good, make sure everything is okay. And then go from there based on, whatever it is that you need to fix. If you need to change your diet based off, something you learned about yourself, then I will focus on that first, taking care of my health. Because it doesn't matter what you look like. If your health and your heart's not good, then the appearance is not going to matter. You know, so.
And if you focus on exercising more and having a better diet, then the changes that you might want to see with your body, they're going to come.
Right.
Because if you put those two things together, your body will change.
Yes, thank you, because you do notice, like, it's all about, how many likes, how many views, how many, and it's so, life is so much more than that, and we just, want a healthy mindset. And speaking of a healthy mindset, and I'm gonna go ahead and ask it. For a healthy mindset, how does the fitness and eating right help with a healthy mindset?
So, I mean, my clients talk about it all the time, how it actually works hand in hand. They always talk about how whenever they sign up with me and they go through a whole 6 weeks or 12 weeks, how everything in their life changes, how everything in their life gets better. It's almost like, again, my favorite word is habit. Once you start habit stacking, you change your old stuff, you introduce new disciplines, then everything else in your life starts to get better. You'll start waking up more on time. You maybe start reading books. You'll start being, more productive at work. All of this is because now you're healthy, you're getting more rest, you're in shape. Those things are all work together. So it's very important.
Awesome.
I that.
I was like, anything to add?
Yeah.
All right.
One thing just to piggyback on that, I mean, like Steve Jobs and a lot of people that are millionaires, they always talk about how the first thing they do in the morning is they're going to exercise. And they say how that changed their whole life by putting their fitness and their spirituality first, and that it just made their regular work easy.
Yes, and I know as adults how many times we've heard that. Even our pastor has said it. Many pastors have said it. You need to start your day, with a mind, in your spirituality and your health, and that's how you should really start. Everybody said it. We're just a little hard-headed. We're gonna get there.
We're learning.
Yeah.
All right, McKenna, back to you, sweetheart. What is your next question that you have?
How much water should I drink a day?
Go ahead. It bears repeating, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Repetition is good.
I mean, if you want to think about, I said it a little earlier, if you want to think about how much you weigh and drink half of that amount in ounces a day. Or if it's a little easier, if you could get at least 3 bottles of water in as a kid,
yes,
you're in a really good place.
All right. Well, we are almost at that time. Just this has been just so good. And I mean, even though we are talking, for the sake of our children, still, it's flooding my brain over here. Like, I need to change some of that. Yes, I do. Okay, but just lastly, we Kingdom Kids, it's about our kids, but the kids can't do it without the grown-ups. So jumping back to the family, and you mentioned it before, just one more throwback to the family. Any other tips for the family as far as either eating or activities or things in the community. Well, not so much in the community because we're a little, you know, can't do much right now. But what, as you know, just going back to the family, how can all of this just be a wonderful bonding experience? So just sum it up really quick.
Well, I'll talk about food. You want to talk about movement?
Yeah.
So just, I would say going like a complete shift cold turkey is very hard. It's hard on adults. It's going to be even harder on kids. So one small habit at a time, and then build it up over time. Those will make big changes. So you can say, all right, we are eating a vegetable with dinner 3 times a week starting now. And so that just becomes a habit that you do. You know, I'm gonna not let you have, you know, donuts for breakfast. Instead, we're gonna do oatmeal for breakfast, you know, stuff, things like that. And swapping out the juice for water for 2 of your drinks a day, and then just building from there. So the kids have time to adjust and get used to what's happening, but also can grow to love it, and it doesn't feel so harsh as a cold turkey change to things that they've been used to that, you know, you previously allowed them to do.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, I totally agree with everything Jordan's saying. I mean, kids are going to learn from their parents what they do at home anyway. So if you make it something that you do at home regularly, they're going to pick up on it. I mean, my little girls, they'll see me training someone on Zoom, and then later on that day, they're doing a push-up or a plank, and they're like, I'm a client, you know? So it's like little cool things like that when they see you doing something, that it, you know, it's going to trigger like, okay, this is something I could do. And then hopefully it'll carry on, you know, the rest of their life. But as far as fitness goes, I mean, just getting out, like I was saying earlier, you know, whether it's walking your dog or going in the backyard and, you know, just playing a game, kickball, or just something to be active, you know, getting out of the house instead of everyone at home on their devices and, you know, watching TV, lounging. Every now and then just get up, go for a walk. And I think that's one thing that blessed us with COVID-19 when it first happened with being quarantined. Like, we were just out in the backyard playing and just walking, you know, because it's really all we had. Couldn't go nowhere. So, but yeah, I mean, go to the zoo, do anything, but just don't make it hard. Don't make it stressful. Because if you do that, they're going to run from it. They're not going to do it. So yeah, don't sit them down like, you're going to do burpees and push-ups, and I want you doing wall squats, you know, get in shape. Like, don't do that. Like, just make it fun. Do fun games, and they'll be fine.
Yeah. Awesome. And I would have to agree with you on COVID coming along, even though it's a very hard situation. Yeah. It made your mind shift. Yeah. You know, I was either trying to walk at school or, you know, go somewhere else, but now I get to just enjoy my neighborhood because I can't really, and I don't really want to go many places either. So just getting out and enjoying nature is just wonderful. So thank you both for your advice, for your tips, everything today. I have really enjoyed it. McKenna, did you enjoy this conversation?
Yes.
I was like, we just have to wait for her to get unmuted.
Right. Yeah, thank you, McKenna. It was very good, great questions. Yeah, nice meeting you.
So happy that she could be here. So once again, Kingdom Kids family, just take these tips, use them for your family so that the family can grow healthy and strong and just continue to have a, you know, wonderful life. But don't forget, this episode is not over with. There is a workout coming up from Jordan and Dewan Means. So thank you so much for this discussion on the means of fitness, and we will see you when it's time to work out.
Get busy.